my dudes, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to do a Love Nikki fall themed kind of creation, and for today's storytelling I want to talk about obsolete games. Now I know that when Club Queen oh my god, I know that when I'm sorry, today my tongue is stuck and I have no idea why, and I'm done because every video is the same thing. I mess up and I have to start from scratch. And I'm so pissed off because I have videos that sometimes I'm done with them, and then when I'm almost done speaking at the very last minute, I mess it up some way, somehow. So you know what? You guys are going to get the uncut. You guys are going to get the uncured. You guys are going to get the full Jenny. So for today's video, we're going to talk about obsolete games because I know that Club Penguin closed down recently and everybody was like fangirl. Well, not fangirling, but everybody was like, oh my god, such a big stage in our lives is going to be over. Because a lot of us, at least if you were in the 2000s, like in early 2000s, early 2010s, 13s, around there, Club Penguin, like that was the shit. Everybody was on it. But now that I think about it, that wasn't the only game that we had back then. We had Club Penguin, we had Moshi Monster, we had Fantage, we had Movie Star. We had a lot of games going on that was virtual reality where we could talk to people. And one of those games, I was actually talking to my friend about it yesterday, was called Fantage. Now, I want to do a game Let's Play because Fantage for me was just such a cringy stage in my life. And I have so many stories from that game. And I was like, you know what, like, let's go check it out. And for some reason, I typed up on YouTube, Fantage, and I get this. A farewell Fantage. And I'm like, what do you mean farewell Fantage? So apparently Fantage closed down. So I don't know how many of you ever had like a interaction with Fantage, because I don't think that was a very popular game. I know a lot of people didn't know about it, but I did know about it. I was hooked on that game. I had everything going on in that game. So in that game I had two different accounts. My first account, I had all the rare items because this was before the update that they did on it. Because they did an update where everything became a little bit harder to get rare items if you were not VIP. But in my old account, since I had it before that weird update that they did, I had every single little rare account that you could have. Because I would always be watching the 30-second videos to get them e-coins. So your girl was stacking. I had all the discontinued clothes, all the discontinued hair. I had everything going on. Until I decided when I was like 14 or 13, like, you know what, I'm grown for this, I don't need this, and I give my account away, and they changed the password. So there's that. But your girl didn't have a life. Your girl didn't have boyfriends. Your girl didn't have anything. I didn't even have friends at that point in my life. So I was like, why not? And I opened Fantage one more time. Obviously, since I was after the update, I couldn't get back any of my rares, any of my good stuff. So I was just a loser like everybody else, starting from scratch. Now, cringy stories. Back in Fantage, you have these things called parties. And people would come to your house. There would be like a little party. People would be like, happy birthday, or there was different themes. So it was like happy birthday, prom. I think there was one for Mardi Gras. Like there was a lot of different celebrations. And if it was like your birthday, supposed to, everybody would be like, happy birthday. And then you would be put in the house with random people. And I remember that's where I got my first little boyfriend, in one of the parties. And I remember my little self was so hooked on him that I had bought us matching braces. So in the game, there was this thing called matching braces, which was like little bubbles that would show up on top of your head. And when those little bubbles would show up, it would be like, oh my god, like you're matching with your BFF. And every time you will be near them, the little bubbles will light up and they will have light, and they will be like weird stuff like dolphins jumping or stuff like that. It was really weird. But I remember I was like, oh my god, this is my first boyfriend. I had gotten this matching braces because you could get two instead of just buying one. So I had bought two and I had given him one. And I remember I was so hooked. And I was like, oh my god, my little boyfriend, mama. Needless to say, that didn't last past the 3-hour mark. By one point in the game, he's like, hey, I have to go and I have to log out. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I stayed in my little Fantage house and he left. But the thing is, in your friends, you could see who was active and who wasn't active. If they were active, I'm pretty sure like they would show up on the top. And if they were like inactive, so they weren't logged on, they were all the way at the bottom. And I remember I was like, what's going on? Like, this is really sketchy. And I was because you will have a little chat box, and I would text him, I would be like, hey, like, how are you? Like, are you still on the game? It's showing up like you haven't left. And he wasn't answering. So another thing that the game had was that you could click on the person's name and it would take you to where that person was. Of course, I was creepy as hell. So little 13/14-year-old me clicked on his name, and I went to where he was, and he was with a little girl, with another little girlfriend. And I remember I got so mad. I called him out on his shit, and I was like, you're such a liar, blah blah blah. And I got us matching bracelets, and I remember I was so pissed off at that point, and I cursed him out. Well, not cursed him out because you couldn't curse him out, but I was calling him like big head ass, generic hair ass, and I was just like insulting him as much as I could and trying not to get banned. And I remember my dumbass felt so guilty. I remember I felt so bad because I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, blah 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 blah. And I felt so stupid. And I remember I followed him around, and I was like, I'm so sorry to him and the little girl that he was cheating on me on. And I felt so guilty. Like, I was blaming myself. I was like, oh my god, like, I shouldn't have cursed him out. And I just remember it was the weirdest, cringiest thing, because I was just following them around. And in Fantage, you could fake cry. So I would always be fake crying. I would be like, crying. And I just feel bad. So shout out to the 8-year-old boy, because he was probably 8 at that time. I was probably like girlfriends with a little boy. He thought I was a little girl, but I was almost like a full-on grown person. So shout out to you. Sorry, boo. I didn't mean to call you generic looking hair ass. But anyways, moving on from that story, Fantage was just a very, very, very important part of my life. I remember that was what I would do 24/7, because like I said earlier, I had no friends. So my friends were pretty much on that game, and that was the only friends I had for quite some time. Until I met my friends today, and that's when I kind of like said bye to the game, because I was like, okay, like I finally got friends now, so no need to stress about that anymore. But I don't know, there's just a lot of memories that came with this game. There was a lot of stuff, and I believe that this game was an iconic game, no matter what people say, because this is kind of something that, I don't know, like, either you played it or you didn't. But if you did, there's stuff that you're not gonna forget, like the boards, the fashion games that we would have. I remember when we would have fashion games, they would be like, okay, like you get a category, and then you have to find clothes in that category and dress up like it. And I remember people would insult me. They would be like, oh my god, because you have to do, okay, so basically the way it worked is there will be like a theme like purple. You would pick purple. The second they would pick purple, you will have be in a catwalk, and you had to do the exact position it told you to. If it told you to wave, you had to wave. If it told you to cry, you had to cry. If it told you to jump, you had to jump. So you had to do everything that it was telling you. And whoever had the most points was the one that would win, blah, blah, until you won. And I remember people would get so butthurt if I won, because there was the VIP people and there was the basic people. I was a basic person, and sometimes I would win the VIPs because, like I said, I had a lot of rare items because I had been playing it for a really, 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 really long time. So they would get butthurt, and they would be like, oh no, like you're so blah blah blah, and like they would just like insult me, and I would be like, dude, what the heck, like I haven't done anything to you. But it was just a funny experience because I would get so mad. I would be like, what the hell is everybody's issue? Like, I'm just here living my best life. I don't know why people are mad at me, but it's just one of those things that it's just kind of one of those dumb things that happen in the game. But yeah, I was just looking back on it because, like, when I saw that, I just kind of got a little bit sad because that was a stage in my life that I really went through a lot of shit, and this game was just kind of there, and it didn't help at all, but it was fun to be distracted at times. But yeah, that's my story with Fantage, and I have way too many cringy situations with this game, but that's another story for another time. So I hope you guys have some, I don't know, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time telling, or that you guys got something out of it, like I was a cringy creep that would just creep on people that I was dating at the moment through the game. But don't worry, there's a lot of thousands of stories like that. Well, take care, guys. and honestly, I'm gonna be making a DIY video, so I am one step closer to putting my face on this thing. So hopefully everything goes well. Well, take care, good luck, and can't wait to talk to you guys again. Bye.